Happy championship weekend, Rams fans. Man, if you are excited as I have been every single day this week, just the fact that we get such beautiful football this Sunday, it doesn't matter who you're a fan of. It doesn't matter if you're a Rams fan. Obviously, if you are, please stick around. I love you. It doesn't matter if you're a Seahawks fan. Still, boo to you. But just fans of the NFL, do you not appreciate what we've got this weekend? You got the two arguably best teams in the NFL. One is one of the two best because they're the NFC champions. The other one, the Los Angeles Rams, who's gone toe-to-toe with them in both their matchups, separated by 1 point and 1 yard in both those matchups combined. And just the fact they match up so well. You've got a historically great offense versus a historically great defense. Two teams that hate each other, two fan bases that just hate each other through divisional rivalries. A phenomenal head coach, and not just Sean McVay, but also Mike McDonald, who has brought Seattle back with Sam Darnold. Despite all the things that you feel about him, he's a very good quarterback. He's got this team at the top of the mountaintop, 1-1 away from the Super Bowl. I don't really know what more you can want from a championship weekend. And we're not even counting and talking about the AFC game, which we have talked about on the morning show. If you guys are new here, I am Tuna. This is the First and Tuna podcast. We focus on all things Rams football. But for the nitty gritty of every day and the updated news, make sure you check us out every morning. Normally we're Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but we have been every single morning during the week. Myself and my co-host Sheriff Joe Baggs, as we talk about all things Rams. That streams 7 a.m. on those weekday mornings. That's a mouthful. Oh my gosh. All right, what's going on? Before we jump into the film today, I got a few things for you guys. Talked about the morning show. All right, if you're local to Los Angeles and you don't want to watch at home, you want to watch somewhere fun with other Rams fans, not just do you have the SoFi watch party that is put on by the Rams themselves. Tickets are sold out. You're going to have to reach out to some friends and family, people who are maybe getting rid of their watch party tickets. I think it's about 10,000 people estimated that they're expecting at SoFi for that watch party. I was there week 16 when they first played Seattle. It was super fun. It was electric. Unfortunately, there's no discounts on foods and drink, but they do have mad discounts on merch that they'll make available for you inside of the stadium. That'll be fun. And parking is free. So that's awesome. If you've never been to SoFi, really cool experience. Hopefully you guys got tickets for that. If you missed out on that, I got two alternatives for you. One, our good friends over at DTLA Rams. They're going to be at Buffalo Wild Wings over in Chinatown. I've been there for watch parties. I love going there with those guys. DJ turns it up. And it's wings, man. Like, how could you be mad at Buffalo Wild Wings? Beer is always good pricing. Love the vibe there. They're super welcoming. Whether you've hung out with them or not, or you know anyone there, does not matter. Just show up, try to get there early, enjoy the game with some other Rams fans. And then where we will personally be at, we were already confirmed with World Tour Rams, Golden Road Brewery in Glendale. We were there for the wild card, Long Beach last week, and we're going to be back at Golden Road with our good friend Chris and World Tour Rams out there. Maybe we do a live podcast that morning, maybe not. We'll see, details to come. But those are three really good options. If you guys don't want to watch at home, hopefully you can get on board with one of those and join us. All right, almost 4 minutes of yapping. Let's get into this. Do I got toothpaste in my beard? I got toothpaste in my beard, and you guys didn't even tell me. Now, if you're questioning the backdrop, we're dog sitting, so we're recording not in our normal studio. But nonetheless, we're still getting work done. Film. What we've got today. We took a few weeks off. Life kept us busy away from All-22. But seeing as how intense this matchup is, how equal it is, there was one area that I think the Rams really missed out on, and an area that I think Sean McVay was really late to the party in week 16, adjusting to what Seattle's defense was doing to the Rams' offense. And that is the run game, as well as 13 personnel. Now, I'm kind of going into this a little bit blind. I've looked at some figures provided by our friend Josh. Joshio's tweets should be up on the screen here. The Rams' success rate in 13 personnel versus Seattle in both their matchups versus the rest of the field when they played other teams, it's a pretty good difference. Seattle plays it really well. And it's no secret that a key part of that is when the Rams go heavy set, when they go in 13 personnel, 12 personnel, Seattle has the personnel that they can just stay in a nickel. They don't have to bring an extra linebacker, extra D lineman. They can stay out there in nickel, because of Emmanwori and their linebacking core, as well as the rest of the safeties, and they could play the run really, really stout. And you're going to see that in the film here momentarily. So really what we're breaking down is just looking at what worked for the Rams, say in the first half of week 16 in 13 personnel, where were the errors, and where was Seattle dominating and doing well, whether it's in the trenches, whether it's just schematically, what were they succeeding at to stop this Rams offense? Because after that 16-point lead, once it hit the fourth quarter, the Rams couldn't run the ball out. It kind of played into Seattle's hands where, cool, you're up 16. All it takes is 2 plays to get back in the game. You get a 3 and out because the Rams can't run. You get a big punt return. Boom, 1-score game. You stop them again because the Rams still can't run the ball. Now the play action's not working because they're not afraid of the run. Boom, another score. Now you got a tie game. And now you're playing behind the curve if you're Sean McVay because your 13 personnel is out of whack. You've got no established run game. You can't just drop back and ask Stafford to be like, okay, cool, go win the game right now. It's going to take a few minutes, 2 or 3 drives to get back in rhythm, which we saw them do in overtime. But unfortunately, a lot of momentum got shifted over to the Seattle offense, and now you lost the game. So with that being said, let's dive into week 16. Feels good to be back in the saddle watching some film with you guys. All right, what we're going to do, we're going to establish a baseline. We're going to watch this first drive. We're going to see some tendencies. We're going to see what's working, what's not working, things that might hint at future successes and or failures for the Rams. First one's going to be 1st and 10, 14:51 in the first quarter. Kyren Williams is going to run 8-yard gain right off the butt of Kevin Dotson here. Boom. Okay. He's going to run. Fights. Love that Kyren never goes down first contact. One more play, run this back. See if I can remember where the double teams are. Okay. All right, so we're in this back. We're going to get a Puka Nacua motion late over here, and he's going to help kind of seal this edge. I think what he initially was supposed to do when Puka comes into frame here, get the motion. I feel like he's supposed to work up and go get Emmanwori. He's supposed to work up through this gap, maybe pick up Emmanwori. But this is where good communication works, where, hey, blocking scheme's not working as intended. You can't just do nothing, so you got to work and find the next guy. Both tight ends work well here. Davis Allen's going to go and end up picking up Emmanwori. Puka's going to eventually just kick out this edge out here. Now, the double teams, you're going to get McClendon and Dotson working on 99. Eventually, you're going to get Dotson working up Turner's Jones. You're going to get a solid double team here, working up to 42 as well. And you're going to get a switch here. Backside tight end, work up to safety. Allard Jackson's going to just protect the edge from this guy, backside here. And then Kyren Williams is going to do his best. Boom. Bounce out, pick up 8. Whoop. Very nice. Why Seattle is really able to play really good run defense usually, especially against the Rams. This guy right here. We're going to watch a lot of him. Emmanwori is not afraid to just get up in here. Maybe he doesn't really know how he's going to stop it. He's just going to fill the gap. Get up in there and make it nasty. But because it's all clustered up, you're going to see Ernest Jones here. Ernest Jones is very instinctive, and he's not just going to sit and do nothing. So he realizes, all right, it's mucked up. I know I had Emmanwori fill this gap. So he's going to bounce here and try to fill here to stop a potential cutback. And this time, doesn't work in their favor. Works out in Rams' favor. Solid 8 yards. This was like teach tape for Sean McVay, honestly. Where the first play was a success for the Rams, the second play is actually a failure. You're going to get outside run, outside tackle, barely picks up 1 yard here. Now, a lot of things kind of go wrong for the Rams in this instance. So we're still in 13. One thing that I'm going to try to point out as much as I can is where these guys are lining up as a defense. So one area I'm really poor in is remembering tendencies based on personnel, based on where they're at. And what I'm talking about is the alignment. So what the Seahawks are doing a lot is they're going to put a tackle on the outside shade of the guard on one side, and the nose is either going to be head up or inside shade of the back of the other side guard. And what the Seahawks do mostly is they're going to play Emmanwori to the field side. That they're counting that as the strength. So if field side, meaning which side of the ball has the most field, they're going to call that the strength. As long as they don't get like all 4 receivers on this side. So they're going to play a safety here because, okay, there's a lot more field to cover. I'd rather have a safety out there than, another inside backer covering all that space out there. So what that does, that matters later in the game. It's just, I'm going to try to mention it. I'm just kind of poor at remembering those things and what they mean. Who really blows up this play? 99. Watch him as this play develops one more time. Not only does he blow up Kevin Dotson and win that one-on-one, but he actually gets a hand on Kyren Williams and makes him fight for just that 1 yard. Now, I don't know if this is an intended one-on-one. From what I've seen a lot from Leonard Williams, I think the Rams need to avoid one-on-ones with him as much as possible. So I think potentially based on this alignment, because he's aligned on Dotson's outside shoulder, it's kind of a big reach for McClendon to get a hand there and help. We keep seeing these guys, double team each other. The play is going this way, so it's counterintuitive. You're not really going to ask your tackle play side to step against that. He has to usually step with the flow, and because of that, he's not able to help Dotson here. As you can see, doesn't even get a hand on him. Like he reaches out, but doesn't touch him. That means it's one-on-one with Dotson. Dotson loses this one. Boom, sheds him. It's a hand on Kyren. Luckily, Kyren is strong enough to fight through and at least get it past the line of scrimmage in this instance. I think there was one more thing here. McClendon and Kyren. Yeah, that's really all I got for this play. I like the idea of getting outside. They had leverage, but Dotson's got to win that. So moral of the story is either McClendon has to be better and help, or Dotson just has to be better and win that one-on-one matchup. Very next play. Now we've got 3rd and 1. It's a cool play design. It's going to be, looks like it's going to be run for everyone except 2 players, Matthew Stafford and Puka on the backside. It should work, but the problem is you got to deal with this freaking safety out here. He's just in the way. If he squeezed down a little bit more, it's a complete pass, or if he's outside more, it's a complete pass. Watch where 3's placement is as the play develops. He's literally right in front of Puka in the way. So Stafford has to put it just outside of his reach, but that's too far for Puka. It's a good incompletion. Obviously, you'd rather have that than throwing it right to Emmanwori. But again, Emmanwori being a problem, man. He's a very good player. Great pickup as a rookie. It's instinctual what he does there. Very nice. But I like it's a cool design. Could have been an easy big pop play for the Rams, but you're going to see a lot of this, man. Players just in the right position for Seattle a lot of the time. Next play, Rams going for aggressive on 4th and 1. This is a Kyren run right up the middle. He's able to churn out 3 yards and get just enough to get past it. But it wasn't an easy 3 yards whatsoever, especially if you consider you got a Rams player that completely whiffs on a block here. And that player makes the play. McClendon, right tackle. He's played great. I love how he stepped in Havenstein's place. But you can't have lapses like this because Seattle will take advantage of it. He's going to completely whiff on this one-on-one right here. Let me play it back for you. It's dead play on his end. Now, that mucks everything up. One guy misses a play. Now, the tight end that's coming across this side, that's meant to pick up the edge, he now was stopping early because he has to pick up the guy that McClendon missed, which is a secondary job for somebody on a wham block, the cross line block. Get the most dangerous guy. He is picking up the most dangerous guy. The problem is when that does happen, it now mucks everything up for the offense. Because if this block is at least held right here, there's a lane. right here. Davis Allen picks that guy up. So in a perfect world, here's a block, here's a block, here's a block, and you got a pretty nice little alley here where you would pick up a lot more than just 3 yards. But luckily, Kyren, smart enough, strong enough, leans into the defender. Because 0 is the one that ultimately makes first contact for the tackle as well. Fights through that, boom. Fights forward for yards. Great work getting the first down, but they made it really like not easy. And shout out, I can't just say all negative things. Shout out to Davis Allen for stalling DeMarcus Lawrence enough, because right here, this is a free runner. This is a free runner at Kyren Williams. If Davis Allen doesn't stall him enough at the point of contact right here, if Allen gets blown up or Allen doesn't pick him up at all, Kyren Williams is being tackled 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And we're sitting here like, oh, great, McVay. Give him the ball at the 40-yard line. But good players make good plays, man. Now we got a new set of downs, 1st and 10, 13:02 in the first quarter. You're going to get a 7-yard run by Kyren Williams off left guard. I think it's kind of a cutback too. No. Duo just reads it, reads the gap, finds the lane. And this is not blocked perfectly either. Blocked well enough. And it kind of goes to my whole point against how to beat Seattle this week is there's not going to be a lot of plays, if any, that are blocked perfectly, that are perfectly open, that is like the perfect look. You're just going to have to fight. You're going to have to be better than them for an extra second. You're going to have to hit them harder for an extra second than they hit you. Kyren's good enough to read that and pick up 7. Who screws up on this play, though? I think this is a bad technique between Dotson and McClendon again. Yeah, luckily this is backside. But again, on the first drive, we're looking at Warren McClendon at the right tackle making a poor play. Played out for you. Watch the double team that him and Dotson both attempt here. And watch how 99, Leonard Williams again just swims outside and is a free runner, essentially. It's wildly impressive. Luckily, he's backside and out of the play. But, I mean, that's fast. Like, he just avoided a complete double team right there. And what else do we got? I'll run this through. Yeah, Byron Murphy's kind of a problem too as well. So, like I was talking about earlier, how they've been aligning up to this. He's shaded inside Avila's right shoulder. Byron Murphy here, the D tackle, he's actually going to take a wide step. Very athletic. Watch his left leg on the snap. He kicks it out far. And he gets across Shelton's face in this gap. So it works against them. These two guys, two of their best interior players, go the wrong direction while Kyren Williams is going this way. He's got a little lucky here. And there is one more thing as well. Kevin Dotson's pretty late getting to his second level block. He doesn't help with Leonard Williams because he misses. And then 42 linebacker is going to race across to help out with run support. Dotson misses him at this point of attack right here. It's a little late, bad angle. Now 42 is making a tackle. Or at least trying to help. Kyren sheds him off. Nothing really to like point out majorly on this play, just poor technique and kind of lucked into the right look with Seattle going the opposite direction. But it does work because these guys at the point of attack, hey, just fight. Even if it's not a good look, get in front of your guy and just try to beat the hell out of someone. That's how you're going to end up beating them on Sunday. This ends up being a really good play on the next play for the Rams. You got 2nd and 3. They're going to pick up 4 yards with Kyren Williams. Let's go ahead and run it real quick. It's a good play. That's a good play. Some notes I got on this one that we're going to look at. Ferguson's always looking for some action. Let's find him first. Ferguson's going to be on the right side, Matthew Stafford's right. So let's see what actually happens here. like you don't always have to pancake someone. You don't always have to have like a big impact block to make an impact. But I just like seeing Ferguson, rookie. I like watching him work inside and then eventually finding, I think, 42 and putting him in the ground. There we go. Yeah, there he is. He's on 42. And rather than just engaging with him and standing still, there's a play going on behind you. Let me put this guy on the ground. Let me just fight with him. Plays away from me, but that stuff matters. That stuff gets remembered by defenders, which is really good. Some other notes that I got. Slight change to where the double teams came from, and plus the late motion is a nice twist. So put yourself in the defense's shoes. Here we got a late quick motion right here. That makes teams wonder, like, is there a play action coming? It makes, when an offense keeps running the same like package with small twists here and there. Now, if you're one of these linebackers, it does make you think like, okay, is it a run? Is it a pass? Because you get this little motion, and when they snap it, you see him race across to help. If you're Ernest Jones, you do have to stop and think, is he potentially dragging across to go to the flat? Or is he going to leak and be an edge blocker? Also, is there a double team coming to hit me in the mouth? Or is Davis Allen going to lead through a different gap somewhere? Boom. So while he's sitting there and thinking and trying to diagnose, Kevin Dotson's going to work his way up to engage with him and get in the way, allowing Kyren Williams to read right now, am I going left or am I going right? Ultimately, he makes the right decision, picking up 4 yards and getting the first down. And then last bit, I just want to shout out Steve Avila for a quick read, him and Coleman Shelton. So initially they have the double team here on Murphy. Emmanwori is going to shoot this gap. Avila is going to punch and then redirect Emmanwori here really quickly. Watch this. Punch, bam. I love plays like that. I love finding little stuff because that shit matters. Because Emmanwori is basically a big-ass linebacker. If Avila just engages with him or doesn't pick him up at all, if they're still here, there's a good chance Emmanwori peels off that and he's making a tackle right here. I've seen it in other plays. He's making a tackle. Now it's 3rd and 1 or it's 3rd and 4 because he doesn't get any yards. Little things like that. If something crosses your face, punch him in the mouth. Yeah, this is why the Rams have a chance up in Seattle. Very next play, 1st and 10, new set of sticks. Play action. Matthew Stafford's going to scramble for 4 yards because everything is just covered really, really well. We'll stick in the side cam this time, just to note a few things. First of all, down here in the trenches, you do not have number 99. I think that's really interesting. The first play, Leonard Williams is out, getting a breather after we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other plays ran. The Rams decide to go a little bit lighter with the spread look, and we'll play action here. And coverage wise, what do we get? Yeah, just really good coverage by them. Secondary's not really fooled. I saw 42 take 1 step and immediately dropped back. The secondary is going to play tight really well. And then just based on the concept that the Rams ran, it played right. Like there was just a defender at every level. The only area where there would have been, I thought Nakua was going to run this route and go out, but instead he goes in right to where there's a safety here helping out and whatnot. So still a positive play. Still nothing to really complain about too much. Same drive. First, 2nd and 6, 11:14 on the clock. This is one of the first plays where I start to see in my rewatch why the 13 personnel didn't really work that well in the second half. There's nothing here that's like, oh, look how crazy that they lined up, this and that. Rams are actually in 11 personnel. They're going to run inside here. They're going to pick up 2 yards with Kyren Williams. And it's times like this where you almost have to question, is condensing the formations actually helping or hurting the Rams run game? You got a tight end here, which is Parkinson. So here's Parkinson. Here's 84. Here's Puka. And then here's Xavier Smith. Puka is actually late to trying to block Witherspoon here, Witherspoon does a really good job crashing down the line and helps make this tackle. Let's run through this one more time, watching Witherspoon. Yeah, he gets up in there, man. They just do a really good job of mucking everything up. And then Parkinson, too. Parkinson doesn't win his rep against... Who is this? Is this Boyamafe? No. Is it? Who says 53 or 58? I can't tell. 58 just does a good job crossing his face, working down the line, and just, I call it mucking it up. Like, you're not always going to make it pretty, but as a defense, you want to make these lanes all messy for the running back to not know where to go. By the time Kyren gets this ball right here, look at this line where there's no, that's filled, that's filled, that's filled. There's going to be a corner out here as well, so you can't go that way. It's mucked up. Now it's just put your head down and just don't let a negative play happen. Here, his eyes go this way. He can see a cutback. That's why he goes. But then it's filled by those two guys that we marked. Here's 21, and here's the edge. They're working, they're working, they're working. So then now Kyren wants to get there. Here's one, here's two. They're making this tackle right here. And then shout out to their number 98. I think he stands his ground pretty well. Yeah, he stonewalls with Shelton right here. Doesn't overcommit to the right side. So then when he sees Kyren cutting back, he's able to put a paw out and help as well. The first two show up, and now here's 98 going to jump on the pile. Yeah, so what was the down and distance on this one again? This was 2nd and 6. Now you got 3rd and 4. This is a territory where Seattle's defense definitely wants to keep you in. It's gonna do. This ends up being a shotgun pass. Throw to the flat. Ferguson, short. Is gonna bring up 4th down. A few things. There's nothing crazy here. This is just good coverage by Seattle. This is what they do. But one thing I like watching is when you watch. Sometimes when you're watching at home, you're like, dude, he had him wide open. It's true. May have missed something. Maybe it wasn't the initial read. And what I'm talking about is the backside. I think this is Konate Mumpfield. You're going to watch, eventually he does come open on an in route, which they were killing Seattle in later in the game. And so when that happens sometimes, at least I like to imagine, even if they miss something, the good offenses, good coaches, good quarterbacks, they're going to, when they go back and they're looking on their little iPad on the sideline, like a little iPad kid. That's what they're looking at. They're talking to their OC. They're talking to receivers like, hey, I was open backside. Okay, cool. That was 3rd down. Let me go check. So then he goes and looks, sees it. Okay, if we come across this look again, we may have an opportunity to go to the dig. So that's why maybe they hit on stuff later on. So for some of you, that's common sense, but some of you, I know it's new. It's just kind of a cool part of the game. One thing I would like to see the Rams do is implement, like you see a lot of other teams do, you see a lot of other teams kill the Rams in. They're only bringing 4. Okay? You got 6 to block. 5 linemen, 1 running back. Kyren Williams is arguably a top 5 pass protection running back. He sees his job is covered. There's no blitzer. He even takes a look back at the line right here. Boom. Everything's covered. Takes a look across. There's no extra rusher. So what does he do? He's going to swing out to get open. Now, if the Rams offense, if McVay, his offensive rules were a little bit different, I feel like you would prioritize this a little bit differently. And I think that's something that they're really missing out on. And it would, regardless of how great this offense has been, rather than going, trying to force it and maybe squeak out the 1st down, knowing it's really well covered by these guys here. There's no pressure. I feel like it was a rushed read. Look at all this greenery he's got out here. Obviously, whoever has the chalk last is always right, as coaches like to say. But it's just something I notice throughout the season. And nothing crazy that Seattle does as a secondary. They just play their spots really well, and they're physical. You're gonna see Puka cross here, and you're gonna watch Ernest Jones reroute him. Like, that kind of stuff is what messes up plays, because maybe he does want to go to him, but now with this little push, that's like a quarter second, a half second that now it's not open. That's extra time you're allowing for this pressure to potentially get to Matthew Stafford or make him make a different read. Nothing's open. This is really the only thing he had to go to front side. If you look at the deep shot here, the safety, like, he doesn't bite on anything deep. He plays this corner route really well. Really the only spot he can go. I mean, makes it 4th and short, but we'll see on this next play here. I mean, it's no secret they don't get it. And this is one of the parts of the Rams offense that has struggled all season long. Talked about it earlier when we started this. That the Rams are not good. Or sorry, I didn't mention it earlier. It was the 13 personnel. Josh Yo's tweets also showed us this season that when it comes to 3rd and 4th down, when it's 3 yards or less, when the Rams run it within the tackles, they are one of the NFL's worst at picking up the yards. Now, does that translate to outside the tackles too? Because when you're playing a defense like Seattle, man, they're not going to give you easy plays whatsoever. Now, the end zone look, like what actually happens, in my notes here, I think it's 7. The ones that make this play, yeah, number 7 on Davis Allen. Him completely stalking like a stock block, the opposite, whatever the terminology is. He stands Davis Allen up here. Whole play is mucked up. Even if you got these guys, even if you're moving these bodies here and here, the fact 7 just completely stops it. It's going to create this ugly pile, which defenses like. Boom. Now you got like 4 Rams blockers in the same spot. That's not good for Kyren Williams. It means he has to bounce it out even further. And then just great, like, really well-coached secondary. Watch 29 right here. This is well-coached. Like, this is exactly what we're supposed to do. Great tackle. Allow time for your guys to get there. And then finally, the last piece. Is it 99? No, it's Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence right here. He's kind of lost in this pile here. He kind of gets lost. He actually gets bent sideways. Stays on his feet. Tracks Kyren back down. Right as 29 makes contact, now 0's making the play. Like, it wasn't even close. It was like a full yard short. That play right there, along with the other one that I showed you earlier, it's not even about, like, because technically the scheme, it was the right look, and you got lucky by 0's like bent backwards. It's Kyren on a DB. You're going to take that 9 times out of 10. It's just the fight. It's just the fact that they're not going to give up. You have to block them for an extra second longer than you would 30 other teams. You have to, like, dig a little bit deeper than you would in other games, because clearly this isn't like playoffs. This is week 16, and these guys are just tenacious as hell. This is why they create a huge problem for the Rams and 13 personnel. Yeah, just really, really good play by their D. All right, let's jump to the second drive. Seahawks jump up 7-0. 1st and 10 for the Rams here. We're going to play action, little easy toss to Puka Nacua, and that's going to pick up 9 yards for them. Really like this. This is just a playoff, what I was saying earlier. Like, imagine you're a defender having to look at all these motions. You know, is it going to be a pass? Is it going to be a run? And it's actually like a really cool motion that Puka does here. It's a return one. Goes from right side. Here he is. Motioning across. Kind of pauses right here. Like he's going to sweep up in the gap like we'll see him do a little bit later this drive. But then while everything's going this way, now he's going to leak back out to the right and be wide open. Really cool play. Let me see if I can see anything else here worthy of note. No, everyone doing a really good job. The one that does a really good job that no one's really going to mention, this backside here on 53. I think this is, what tight end is that? All these freaking tight ends look the same, dude. Davis Allen. Davis Allen has an important job. He's got to hold 53 here from getting in the way, because if 53 is unblocked and he gets in Puka's way, like this whole play's dead. Or he's going to be able to see this as play action, and now he's in Matthew Stafford's face back here, right? But because Davis Allen holds his block long enough, Stafford's able to get around, make a very easy throw. Really good. That play is made by the amount of just runs and shit that they threw at Seattle in that first drive. Jumping over to second down. We're just going to burn through this as quickly as possible because you guys know I don't like these films to go like 18 hours long. All right, we got 2nd and 1. Some notes I got while this play is running. Shelton does a really good play in the middle. I really like how Jackson doesn't leave Avila on 99 too quickly. This is 5 yards for Blake Corum. Blake Corum sighting. I really hope he gets some spin this week. Again, with the motion, man. It's something that we're so accustomed to seeing when we're watching Rams games. Like, yeah, of course there's a motion beforehand, but put yourself in the defense's shoes. Not every team that you play runs this amount of motion or to the same purpose that McVay's offense does. And so if you're Seattle, you're having to constantly be aware, like, all right, who's going? Is it Puka going this way and then back this way like he did the play before? Is it Davis Allen here? Is he going to do that? Is Davis Allen going to go to the flat? You know, et cetera, et cetera. This play, what I want to watch, I like this combo on the left side of the line between Avila and Jackson on Leonard Williams, their best defensive lineman. Jackson's going to help seal this edge, and he's not going to leave too soon. Whereas we saw McClendon earlier miss and then go too early. This is Leonard Williams, man. Jackson's smart. He's like, no, I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna help out a little bit. Boom, stays with him, then goes up. You know, is it a hair late? Maybe, but you picked up 5 yards because you sealed this edge. This edge was the most important thing for this play to work. And then Parkinson's going to work up here to 42 as well. I'm so sorry. That's Puka. Yeah, watch this switch by these guys. So Davis Allen's going to hit this edge and block him out. Parkinson. And then Puka's going to scoop inside, hit 42, displace him by a yard, and then go hit the corner as well. Puka's a psycho, man. Boom. Boom. If Puka misses that or doesn't and just, you know, kind of bitches out, it's like, I'm going to go get the corner instead. 42 has a free run to meet Kyren at the line of scrimmage. So when McVay and the team they preach doing your 1/11th, how many times do we watch these plays where one guy misses and now the play is dead? It really takes all 11 to do their job, man. That's why I love football so much. Let's go on to the next play here. Like I said, we're just going to burn through. 5:57 should be 1st and 10, right? Yeah. 1st and 10. Oh, this is a fun one. This is a really good one. 1st and 10 on the 38. You're going to get some pressure here. Let me draw it up before the play runs. You are going to get an Emmanwori blitz as the hammer. You're going to get an overload from this side. Blitz, 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 or pressure. This end is going to drop into coverage. This guy is going to drop into coverage as well. And then very, very late, Witherspoon. He's not even going to show it. He's going to blitz from depth. The whole point of this blitz is to overload one side, bring Emmanwori as the hammer to probably get picked up by the running back. And then they want Witherspoon to have a free shot at Stafford. I think the Seahawks are banking and taking a gamble on this being a long developing play because it's 1st down. They're taking their shot. Like, hey, fuck it. It's 1st down. Let's try to get Stafford behind the sticks. But it gets picked up really well. And Stafford reads it and drops it over the head of that dropping defensive end over to Davis Allen for a 27-yard gain. and he gets his slow white butt up the field for 27 yards. Oh man, I think this is one of the key areas where they can attack Seattle at a gun. I know it's counter to what I've been saying, like, oh, run the ball in 13, but this just works really well. They're still in 13 personnel. It's just they're in gun. You know, the only wide receiver on the field is Puka right here. And I want to go to the end zone cam with you guys. I want to show just why the strength here is really, really good. And actually, they started under center. I'm sorry. Started under center. And when you see things get changed at the line, that's not always designed. It's sort of designed because, like, hey, if we get XYZ look, be ready for Stafford to change the play based on whatever he says. So he comes up under center. He sees something he doesn't like. He sees something that he's like keen on. Maybe this is a run play. Maybe they're running right into the blitz. All right, cool. Fuck it. Let's change it. We're going to play 2. Boom. And I love how well the offensive line communicates. You're going to get some blitz pickup from Corum. Alaric knows he's one-on-one with whoever's going to be out here ultimately. So he drops, right? Alaric looks to go block him initially. Sees he's taking a step back. There's no one else out here. So what does he do? He looks inside. He gets passed off by Avila. Avila now is like, all right, cool, that's your guy. Looks inside. I'm going to go help someone. Races over to the pile. But yeah, overload left side blitz. 4-on-4. This is not hot. This would be considered warm. Having just enough to block exactly enough because you're counting on your one-on-ones winning. But they do a good job. They communicate everything well. Everything gets walled off. The Shelton and Dotson communication here. Watching Williams punch and go. Boom. Yeah, really, really good protection. Like perfect play call against that defense. Really hoping to see a lot of that Sunday. All right, still in 13. You're going to get it off left tackle. Blake Corum's going to run for 5 yards. And I'm going to keep it real. This play is not even blocked well. In some regard, Seattle actually plays it pretty well themselves. They muck it up. It's just the Rams fought a little bit harder to be able to win this rep. Let's watch it from the end zone cam here. Like, it's just a fight. Like, we're gonna walk this back here. Some of the notes I had, you're gonna get, where are my notes at? Avila had a strong rep on Leonard Williams. Williams ends up falling because he gets his feet tangled. And then 42 on the defense. He's out of position. Yet him and the rest of the defense is strong enough to fill gaps and just make it really messy. So with those two areas, here's Avila. Here's Leonard Williams. They're going to be one-on-one here. Williams is going to read run. He's going to kind of be a shade inside of the double team to not get completely stopped. Work one-on-one here, reset. And he's working with Avila. And it looks like Avila pancaked him, threw him to the ground. But Jones, his feet, as he's working this way, he kind of gets tangled up with him right here. Kind of trips up his own guy, which kind of works to your benefit, but then at the same time, his big-ass body in the way. Just no cutback lane at all, which is kind of whack. But then props to their inside linebacker, Drake Thomas, right here. I can't remember if he's a rookie or not, but him, like, dude, he worked through so many guys to help muck that up and almost make the tackle. So he gets contacted by Alaric Jackson right here. Here's the first one. Jackson has his hands on him. That is a fully engaged play. Works through it. Takes on Davis Allen. At one point, he's like almost double teamed right here. Works. Enough to make Corum leak back inside. I think he may have get a hand on him. Enough for the rest of the defense to get there. Like, if you've watched film with me, the amount of times last season that we were looking at Christian Roseboom and Troy Reeder have these kinds of plays where they're just so slow getting out here, where like he's blocked at this point, or they can't read well and they're just completely overrunning the gap, letting a cutback happen. That's good inside linebacker play. It's not just Ernest Jones, man. That's a great play by the linebacker. And this is why it's equally as impressive that the Rams churned 5 out of this. Because like it's mucked up. And it's not always about, oh, is it the right look or is it the right scheme? Like, hey, McVay, man, just go let them fight, bro. Like, you claim you have dogs on the O-line. Let them go fight. That's exactly what happens. This shit right here, I don't know if I can't really zoom this in. If you're Blake Corum, what the fuck are you supposed to go? Dude, there's a guy in the gap. This is messy. 90 is stopping a cutback. So what do? Trust your guys. Like, all right, cool. Let's ride this out. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. A little bit of daylight. Let's fight. I'm still not down. Keep going. There. That's how you win this game. It's not always there's not gonna be a lot of home runs. I really don't think so. Winning this game is gonna come on, like, dude, just go fight. Like, be meaner than them when you're picking up 5 yards. Oh, and last piece, Shelton didn't even block anybody. So you're even down in O linemen, which is a testament to the rest of the team. Like, somebody didn't do their 111th. Here, he just supposed to punch, if anything, and then go and get in front of Ernest Jones. Ernest Jones makes a miss. Here we go. Right here in the middle. Whoop. Missed him. Ultimately, they're lucky it was outside, so Ernest Jones was too far inside to even make a play. But if this is an inside the tackle's run, Ernest Jones is making a play here, so Shelton's got to be better there. So the rest of this drive gets pretty long. We're going to try our best to just kind of burn through these here. You get a play action. This is the screen attempt to Davis Allen. If you missed it, Davis Allen's going to end up being on this left side. He's going to block the edge and then turn around. It's supposed to be catching the ball here, but he drops it. But ultimately didn't matter. As quickly as defenders got there, I think he may have picked up a yard, if anything. Because even if he catches this, by the time he even gets any motion going, like, there's 2 guys going to be right here. He maybe picks up 2 yards, I think, at most. Davis Allen's not really the most agile guy, so it ends up being an incompletion. The next one, 3rd and 5, you're going to get an incompletion over to Mumpfield over on the left side up here. I like the idea, I like the concept. Just, off tempo a little bit because you are throwing to a rookie. It's kind of the risk. And if anything, you kind of see some stuff backside. Remember that what I was telling you about looking at the iPad? Down here to your number 1, Puka. He runs his kind of stutter and go. DB down here doesn't even care. DB is just on top of it deep. So that makes you think, like, okay, if they're so worried about deep, do we just run a hitch in a critical down if we need to? And luckily we're going to see, because the next down is a critical down here, 4th and 5. Rams staying aggressive are going to go for it. They failed last drive. This time they don't stay in 13. They come out in 11 personnel. Gets a completion up top to Puka. Kind of messy. Just trusting your guy. Yeah, just strong hands. Fights for it, gets it. That's a drive continuation play. What I do like, though, I love seeing Konate down here. You're going to get the blitz from this guy. And what does Konate do? He recognizes it. Doesn't run his full route. He just kind of pauses and replaces him right here. Here we go. Blitz. Turns immediately. So if Stafford wanted to go to the blitz, go against the blitz, wanted to trust his hot rather than, hey, my guy's better than yours, I'm going to go up here. He could have if he wanted to. Because this is a catch, boom, throw. Konate's catching this right here. And then he's probably fighting. He's got a first down right here. So you got two options there. It makes you feel good seeing a rookie smart enough to do that early on in his career. And next play, it's going to be a 19-yard strike to Konate, almost as a reward for being ready on the last play. Like, hey, all right, cool, heads up on this play. Here's a boot action, throw to him, turns upfield, picks up 19 yards, puts him inside the red zone. This is a product of that 13 personnel having early on success, them working to establish the run, mixing in some motions. Watch the defense just completely crash on this. Really awesome. The key here is getting Emmanwori to bite, because Emmanwori would be the one to stop this. If he read this as play action, he probably takes a step up and then backtracks and picks up Konate Mumpfield running across the field here. But instead, he bites completely. Now he's in chase mode. Now you got one defender down here meant to block to try to pick up two guys. And that is where Seattle is susceptible, because as good as Emmanwori has played, he's still a rookie. There's nothing really about this play that should have sold run to him. If he's reading his keys, which would be the man in front of him, either one of these two guys, or if he's too locked in out here, you know there's no one else. Like, you know where your own defenders are. You know there's no one here next to you, but you see Parkinson just ignoring everyone and running upfield. Right here, he should have stopped and known, like, oh, shoot, let me go chase him at least. They got him in worry. That was the key. And great play, good pickup. Sweet. Rams are at the goal line. 1st and 5. They're going to do what we all scream for McVay to do. Run the ball. Difference is McVay really likes his bells and whistles. They've done this a bunch early on, but I think at times it's best just to, like, hey, man, get on with the play. What they do here is they're going to run Puka Nacua in motion, but it's not just the clear out motion like he had been doing, where he ultimate blocks or, flares out for pass and or feeds up in here to block. They're going to do a fake fly sweep to him. So here's a fake sweep, then a handoff. A little delay, like it does impact the play a little bit. It delays it, but even if it's a fraction of a second, that is slower for the running back. Now he's later getting to the line. Now the linemen are having to block and hold for an extra fraction of a second. And against a defense like Seattle, I don't think that's really sound, especially when you're playing against defenders who fucking know you. Keys to this play that you get this for no gain is, one, Ernest Jones staying home and Byron Murphy being a fucking brick wall. So here we go. Run it. Boom. And the edge crashing late too. 90 is going to come in here kind of crashing down late. He ultimately helps make the play. Yeah, Dotson and Shelton are working a double team on rookie Byron Murphy, and it goes nowhere. He even sheds a blocker here. Boom. Starts to shed Shelton. Now it's just him and Dotson, but now it's where he's supposed to be reading, if you're Corum, either through here or through here. One, your roadblock is in the way. Like, this traffic cone no longer is there for you. Ernest Jones has filled the gap because he did not buy the fly sweep fake. And McClendon did not get inside leverage on this guy, allowing him to crash down. So failure, and just historical failure there. And I would say wrong read by Avila. Here, he helps, I think, a little bit too long. But again, that is Leonard Williams. So rather than like maybe a little bit of a help and then keeping his base and working up here, he completely just disengages away from Ernest Jones, turning his back to him almost. Now he can squeeze up in here. Yeah, so like Seattle's defense, as much as you want to, you can get them at times. It doesn't matter how far they let you down the field. They will bow up and win these reps. Hey, yeah, man. That's not the first time that 13 personnel will get stopped. What? Is the government getting me? I'm kidding. I'm back. Second down and 5. This ends up being a negative play here by Corum. Oof. We've passed the territory where I pre-watched these with extra notes, so we're kind of watching this. We're raw dogging this tape together, guys. All I see is Leonard Williams yet again, man. You got to limit these one-on-ones with Leonard Williams. Just good support. Looking at the sideline cam, they are in. So you guys can't see it on the side here, but if you have NFL Plus, NFL Pro, it does give you the lineup. Let me try to fix a little bit. It tells you like who's on the field, so it makes my job a little easier. Very cool app. Very cool features that they have on this thing. Now, where is my marker? Boom. Let me see. I don't think there's anything like super crazy alignment wise. They're playing run, or they were gonna blitz. Did you see the safety? I think this is Julian Love. You see him walk up in here. Get the motion, get the extra guy, and then Williams just beats him on the inside. Let's go ahead and look at the end zone again. I'm not going to worry about alignment or anything. It's like they're in the under front or over towards the tight end side. Yeah, right here, this matchup right here. What is this tiny pen? What in the world? Dude, technical difficulties. Is that fine? You guys like a thin pen or a fat pen? What do you guys like? What I don't like is this right here. Leonard Williams swimming inside. Him getting back there. Like he's damn near back at them. He's 2 yards away from the handoff. As Corum gets the ball, he's got to now bounce it even further outside. Rather than being able to maybe take this track here and work up for some yards, he now has to come all the way outside, which when you're playing Seattle, they want that. This is a corner. This is not a safety. That's Devin Witherspoon. Man, very good play. Attacking, full speed, breaks down, gets a hit, lets his guys get there. That's a loss for 1. Now it's 3rd and long for the Rams, the goal line. Again, I said it earlier, you really got to limit these one-on-ones. I don't know what you do in this situation, just based on alignment-wise, because they're in an underfront or an overfront where he's shaded outside here, and because the play is going this way. Remember earlier when McClendon wasn't able to help on the inside? It's the same thing. Jackson can't really help here. His first step has to be this way. So, like, what are you supposed to do? It creates a unhelpful one-on-one for the Rams here on Leonard Williams. Yeah. So, yeah, you really got to limit how much you have one-on-one with Leonard Williams. He is that good. He's too good. All right, here we go. Second down third and goal. 3rd and 6. You're going to get a spread empty here and standard McVay. You're going to get some probably some type of streaky, and I know this is the one where he gets underneath, tries to get it to Puka. And then up here, your standard bunch, you're going to get like a spot concept. One of these guys is going to run either a slant or a stop. One's going to run a corner, and then one's going to have a flat. Pretty standard McVay stuff. Let's see. Yeah. Yep. Parkinson's job, he runs like this kind of over. His job is just to get this guy out the way. His job is just to release, make him leave, make him stay here, so that when Puka runs underneath, it's like the closest thing you can get to a legal rub route. And I feel like this pen is still too big. Haha! We got it. Got the proper pen size. The big ones are just too big for us. Yeah, this slant here, he catches it, gets stopped at the 1. Good pass, pro. good strike. Just good tackle, good defense. He stopped him just a yard short. And this is where like my nerdy side really enjoys play script and narrative. If Avila doesn't lose his one-on-one the play before and Blake Corum is able to get at least back to the line of scrimmage or maybe work out 1 yard, this play that is 1 yard short is in the end zone, and it's a 7-7 game. But ultimately, this is stopped. And in the very next play, I'm not even going to dive too deep into this one because it's just a bunch of bullshit. That play before is actually that pass to Nakua is also Kevin Dotson getting hurt. He's now out for a few weeks. Justin Dedich comes in, and in very first play, which is a pass touchdown to rookie Terrence Ferguson in the back of the end zone. They call Justin Dedich for illegal man downfield when he's not actually blocking. If you guys want some clarity on this, on what it actually is, please know I'm not saying this biasly. If this happened to Seattle, I would be saying this is a dumb penalty. This is not a penalty. Justin Dedich is now in place of Kevin Dotson right here. Dedich is blocking. He's not upfield blocking. He gets pushed upfield blocking. He's now done. He's pushed. He's up here. Now flag is thrown. Flag is thrown pretty late as well. Now it comes in. It's just such a nonsense penalty that now it's, they back him all the way up. That was 4th down. Replay the down. They end up kicking the field goal instead. So it is what it is on that one. 4th quarter. We're jumping ahead. I wanted to use the first quarter, like I said, to show successes, show where they were struggling, and a lot of it was one-on-ones and just getting beat in the interior. Now, Rams are up. A 16-point lead. You just intercepted Sam Darnold again. Bobby Turner, big play. Now you just got to pick up some first downs. Every time you get the ball, run the clock out, you go home with first place. Now, the problem is Seahawks we're already finding out they can stop the run. I know we skipped over, but in the third quarter, Rams couldn't really run the ball effectively out of 13. First and second quarter, we saw the successes. Third quarter, they stopped, and in fourth quarter, they continued to be stopped. The main difference, remember I talked about the start of the film, that where their alignment was matters. I'm not good enough to explain it very well, but one key difference I saw. Remember I mentioned they'd play to the field side, right? So if this is field side out here, this is the strength. One thing that they were doing, they would play a guy inside technique here. So there'd be a guy lined up here. The nose would be lined up here. You'd have an edge here, an edge here, and then the backers would be kind of lined in base somewhat. You have a linebacker here, the other linebacker, the second mic here. I'll just call him the Sam. And then Emmanwori would be off the line a little bit here, but then he had the corner out here. Now they've changed it up. You have a nose lined up. You got the edge shaded right here. You got the other tackle out here. And then now you got Emmanwori. I think this is him. I can't tell who's who. I think it's Emmanwori. Crashing the edge. So they changed their alignment a little bit. And even though the Rams are going to pick up 4 yards here, I think the alignment screwed up their communication. You want to know why I said, I know this play goes away from him, but you want to know why I said don't have one-on-ones with Leonard Williams? I love Steve Avila, man. Watch him get Jared versed all the way back into Stafford's lap here. Leonard Williams just chose not to dump him on his ass. That's wildly impressive. But yeah, these guys are shooting gaps. These guys are playing the run. This alignment screws up one-on-ones. I know they want outside tackle, but now you've got one-on-one. The guard is in no man's land. He doesn't know, do I go backside? Do I help here? Now they're able to pick up 4 yards just based on the direction of the run. But they're not going to have too much success the rest of this drive. The very next play, 2nd and 6. This is going to be no gain here. Again, we're bunched up in 13. And there's an argument to be said that maybe 13 isn't the way to go. just because it kind of plays into Seattle's hand. Like they're comfortable with playing. All right, we'll put everyone in the box, and we might be better than you in one-on-ones. Again, here's a similar type of alignment. You're getting somebody shaded on the center instead of the guards. Now you're leaving the guard free. Hell, you're leaving the tackle free. Oh man, yeah. This is a. I don't even know what alignment this is. I should have stayed in school. Avila gets beat again. Yeah. Leonard Williams blows us up again. He just takes his one-on-one. So same problem that it creates. I think them and their overfront. If the Rams are running to the strength, them being in an overfront where all right, we're shaded on the outside shoulder of the play side guard, the strong side. This is strong side this way because strength of formation. They have all the tight ends out here, and it's field side. So football terms, it's just the strong side. And then overfront means we're going to move our line over to help out the strength. So he's outside shade of him. If this was an underfront, Leonard Williams would probably be lined up right here, and then the other guy would be lined up right there. Anyways, the reason why I think this is working is because it plays against the Rams rules. Because the play is going this way, your play side tackle isn't going to go backwards and help too much, leaving a one-on-one. And when your guy that's able to play one-on-one is Leonard Williams, you're probably going to take that gamble every time. They're keying on him to win this matchup. All right, it's blown up. There's zero momentum. Avila's on his heels. Blake Corum can't get outside there. This is blown up as well, so he's got to cut back. But now the rest of the linemen, because of this right here, this double team is really hard to make and let Shelton get up the second level to block Ernest Jones. It's so hard because Dedich has to work a long way to get over here. It lets Ernest Jones get around and fill the gap and make Corum second guess for a second. And then the emergency exit, the backside where he probably wants to go, is a shot. There's a free runner. He can't go anywhere. So just based on alignment, I think this is giving the Rams a lot of problems. I don't know, man. Don't know what to tell you. I wish I had answers. But let's look at how this drive finishes. 3rd and 6. They decide finally, all right, cool. We'll come out and pass it. And ends up being a nothing burger. There's an incompletion of Puka Nacua. Really good coverage by, I think this is Josh Joby. I don't know how to say his name. You know, you've seen Puka come up with this a lot of times. You're trusting your guy. Then also it doesn't help that you got your receivers on the bottom just running into each other. Another area where you really missed Devontae Adams. If you have Kevin Dotson in there, if you have Devontae Adams, you at least give yourself another option over the middle of the field to try to pick up a really critical 3rd down. Now you're giving them hope. And then not only that, when we jump to the next drive, check that score. They just had a punt return. So not only did you did a quick 3 and out after a turnover, you get a punt return. Cool. Go fucking do it again. In Seattle's mind, they're like, that was easy. This game's not over yet. Get a play action. I like this play to Puka. It's just they're playing it so tight right now. They're expecting runs, so they're playing in the box. It's just really good coverage. You almost have a chance at someone leaking right here. So Kobe Parkinson comes up, runs a corner, but this safety does a really good job at, or I think it's the corner. Yeah, really good secondary. So this safety bites down, and it should be open, but this corner reads it and picks it up back here. See him reading? Oh, it's pass. He sees Emmanwori is going to be able to pick up Puka, And so he knows, thinks back to his film. There's probably something behind me. Yep. Goes back. 3 yards. I mean, all those bells and whistles equating to like a very short nonsense run from the Rams. So now it's 2nd and long, 2nd and 7. We get here. We're going to get an incompletion to Kyren Williams. Getting pressured. What routes did we get? Long developing ones, man. And covered really well. Again, Adams isn't going to be your main target that wins you, the middle of the game. But this is where he's really missed. Like, you just need someone to win a quick one-on-one. Because you're coming out in, I think this is 13. They're coming out in 13 personnel. They're trying to get mismatches. Maybe they're trying to get Puka up here. He runs a really long 15-yard in. But he's not the first option because his sense of urgency isn't there. And they stick on it. He comes open, kind of, but linebackers underneath it as well. Let's go to end zone cam. Let's look at this pressure that Marcus Lawrence gets. Nope, it's Leonard Williams again. Leonard Williams, man. He absolutely had Avila in the blender to end this game. It's just faster and better than him. So from a technique wise, I don't know if he's supposed to be moving his feet. I don't know if he's supposed to be having a drop step. But Avila right here, feet are just, he's a statue. So it didn't matter which way he went, but especially the short side where he has no help. That's why by the time he moves his feet, Williams is already by him. Oof. And then 0 actually gets in at one point as well. Yeah. So you're at a point now where you're playing behind. Like, you're up by 8, but the defense for Seattle was flying. Like, they're beating the hell out of you all game. So you're just like, you couldn't run the ball. Now they're teeing off in the pass. You got no options. You don't have a quick game because Devontae's not there. You don't have an answer for Leonard Williams. Like, you're just behind the sticks, man. And then you almost get a really big play to the rookie Konate Mumpfield. He's not, it's thrown in the dirt, so he's not able to grab it. Low ball. Let's take a look at this pressure again. Avila giving up a pressure again, man. Really good stunt. Really good stunt. So I don't know if there's an answer for that. I don't know if this is Jackson needing to stonewall his guy. I would say it's more on Jackson than Avila. So what you're going to get here is 91 is going to cross and engage with Avila. 0 is going to, you can't see him. Hold on, I got it off screen. This guy is going to take a step towards Jackson and then work right into the back leg of Avila to spin him around so that way the guy on Avila can just get around him really quickly. Right, so he's engaged, right? This is one-on-one. Now, 0 is like free. He's going to basically run right into Avila to free up his own teammate. It's a stunt. That's what the Rams live on. You see them do it all the time, but it's not a... If you didn't know, for some reason, other teams do the same thing. That's a communication thing, but it happens so fast. That needs to be Jackson punching him. Like, if he's giving up his shoulder, like he's basically about to turn his back to him, and it doesn't help that he gets fucking he gets a push head start by Ferguson. If anything, Ferguson hurts the play. And it's just not quite there for him. This is almost a big play. A little bit taller, and if he's sprints through it, maybe he gets it, but yeah, ultimately not a catch. Gonna happen, man. They gotta have an answer for it. It always comes down to technique. It seems like just not being able to get anything fucking done. I don't get it. And then if we jump to the next one, now it's tied up. You've lost all momentum. We're back to a tie game. Now you're in, okay, let's go win the game mode. Back in 13 personnel. It's the same story. Running up the middle, nothing. This is where I'm frustrated. I remember live because, like, hey, man, 13 personnel running between the tackles hasn't worked since second quarter. And it's not even like oh, we're almost going to get it. It's like, no, it's being blown up. And it's because their adjustment to the front. Before they were sitting in an over or under fronts, a true one where it's like, all right, cool, shade here, and then backers back here. Now they're going, all right, go head up, get an inside shade. They took away natural double teams. And then on top of that, interior defensive linemen times play way better than the Rams' interior offensive line. Look at this play by Byron Murphy. Oof. Stone wall. He makes the play. He may not make the tackle. This is a design. You see Puna Ford do this a lot. Kobe Turner does this a lot. When you see him drop his knee and torque his body, it's a way to like just gain leverage like a wrestler. He's getting lower, his knees in the dirt, so now he's got the earth basically helping him, holding on to initial guy, so it doesn't matter if a double team comes. It forces offensive linemen to think, oh, this guy's going down because, you know, he's halfway down. Your instincts kick in, so what does he do? He moves on to the next guy. But then Byron Murphy just pops up. Here you go. Boom, moves on, pops up. Now he's just one-on-one controlling the center of the line of scrimmage. And then the same thing happens almost to Avila, except Avila just doesn't win his one-on-one at all. Stonewall gets shed. McDonald changed his scheme to how he was aligning the 13 personnel. Did a really good job there. And then on top of that, he has the personnel to where they just won their one-on-ones on the inside. And then here we go, 2nd and 8, next play. Still in 13. We're going to get a short incompletion to Parkinson. Play action. Drop. You're at a point now where, I don't know, have you played NCAA? If you're playing on the road at Ohio State and the whole screen is shaking, the noise meter's up, you try to look at the play art, you try to remember who's running what route, everything's shaking, guys lost momentum. That's what happened to the Rams offense here. You lost all momentum. You just gave up 16 straight points. And it is a good throw. He just doesn't get it. Over time, play action. Pressured, gets hit. What more do you want? Game of inches. Game of inches. So now you got 3rd down and long. Again, you're behind the sticks. You're like, dude, what do I do here? You can't get anything going. Screen. You're running a screen into a defense that has just been like, they're so good at this. You're not going to get anything clean against these guys. Like, it gets tipped by this guy. Like, guys are flying everywhere, man. Yeah. Ultimately, they end up being able to start moving the ball later on, obviously. See here. Play do we want to see? Complete place middle. Ferguson 46. Yeah, I know they start moving the ball a little bit better. Excuse the you guys are watching some live editing here. 7 yards, incomplete. 27 yards, incomplete. Not an interception. You know, I forgot how they scored. Or did they not score? Yeah, they don't score again until Puka Nakua touchdown in overtime. So that kind of, I'm actually going to conclude the film right there because I think we got our answer. From an internet nerd's perspective, we're looking at, unfortunately, the Kevin Dotson thing does hurt. Does he make a difference? I don't think for the other side because he's not really communicating with Avila on that side. But the adjustment that they made is they shifted how they were aligning to 13 personnel, especially in run developing plays and the one-on-ones with Leonard Williams. So if it was me, like if I had a say in anything that mattered, you got to have a counter punch. Like if you're going to come out in 13 on that first drive and that's how they're going to align to, what's your counter? Are you changing your rule to help a double team on the front side guard? Are you helping him out, especially if it's Leonard Williams? Are you just throwing out rules that were like, hey, just don't not double team Leonard Williams, like give him the Aaron Donald treatment? Or do you say, fuck 13 personnel, I'm going to go out and we're just going to stay in 11? I think our wide receivers are better than your secondary. Now that we got everyone back, Devontae Adams is here. I think that ends up being a big play. I don't know. What do you guys think? I know this is short notice. Hopefully a little bit of film the night before Christmas where we get to NFC Championship football is something to kind of hold you off and we all feel a little bit smarter watching the game. What you can do, if you're still watching, you guys know we do this, drop an MVP in the comments. Because if you made it this long, I'll show you this. Oh! Our good friends at Victory Vault collaborated with us. Yes, us. I had a hand in making this. MVP shirts, the first official ones for Matthew Stafford. It's got a little cool. You can see it. There's some cool stuff on the back. Check out Victory Vault. You guys follow them on Instagram. They've been all over my page. But drop an MVP in the chat. If you are here and you do that, I will pick one person that comments MVP. I will pick one person and I'll be reaching out to you to send you one of these MVP shirts. So as always, go Rams. Love you guys and have fun watching. And I hope to see you at Golden Road tomorrow if you need a place to watch.